Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Diane Covington. I loved Corinne's call on Monday when she said she was inquiring about your ask muscle, your ASK, you're asking, are you asking? And I want to share with you something that just recently happened. I was talking to one of my consultants yesterday she just was feeling a little sluggish. She had some health issues, and she was just ready to really kind of rock and roll, and she kind of put everything on hold for about 30 days. And she called me. She goes, I'm ready to I just want to get my date book full again. I said, what was the tipping point for you? And she said, I just decided I just needed to ask more. And I needed to expect them to say yes. And I thought, isn't that amazing that we can just make a decision to ask and expect a yes. But if we don't ask, nothing's going to happen. So I'm going to ask you, since Corinne asked you about your ask muscle, I'm going to ask you about your call muscle. Now, I don't want to, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I don't want to say that that texting is not a good thing. Texting is a great thing. In fact, sometimes that's the only way to get a hold of people is through a text. But what if you could text them and then jump on the phone? So what would that text need to look like? What would that text need to say to get them excited? And why your call muscle? Why is calling key? Well, let's talk about that just for a second. So I think calling is vital because, Mary Kay Stephen tell us, even though they didn't do texting back when Mary Kay started the company, I get that. But gang, you can't hear someone's sincerity in a text, no matter how many emojis they put in. You can't hear their excitement. You can't hear their personality. You can't hear their confidence. You can't hear their energy. All of that comes from a voice. So you could experiment, but I'm going to ask you to do something. I want you to promise me before you go to bed tonight, as soon as you hear this message, I am so sorry I have hiccups, that as soon as you hear this message, that you will write down the names of 5 women and call them today. 5 women, just 5. And all I need you to do is have 10 seconds of courage. You close your eyes. You count backwards, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then as you're counting backwards, or counting forwards, it doesn't matter. You could be typing in their phone number. And as soon as you get to the 0, or if you're counting 1 to 10, as soon as you get to 10, you hit the call button. And the phone will start ringing. And you just need a quick, simple 10 seconds of courage. Once the phone rings, you're going to be fine. Once she answered, you're going to be fine. So let's talk about the text first, and then we're going to talk about what happens when you call. Okay, so let's talk about the text. I was talking to one of my consultants today, and she's super, super busy, has a couple jobs, has a couple kids, and so I asked her, I said, what would I need to text you to get you to respond? Like if you were a customer still and the shoe was on the other foot, what would that text need to look like? Would it need to be like, hey Karen, it's Diane. I'm super excited, but I have a pink emergency I need to talk to you about right away. Call me back. Or so you could use something like a pink emergency, or you could say something like, hey, I've got something super important personal to ask you. Text me back as soon as you get this message. Anything you can do that's going to create excitement, curiosity. You want them to see that and pause and go, I wonder what's going on, right? So figure out what it is that you want to see. You could do something in honor of Mary Kay's birthday, even though I know her birthday was last month. She would have been 103. So maybe you decide between now and the end of June that your goal is, ready, to sell $103 every day. $103 every day, that's your goal. Okay, or maybe your goal is to do sell 103 items. I don't know what your goal is. I have no idea where you're focusing on, but I will tell you, your goal has a bigger impact than you can ever imagine. Absolutely. So you're going to send out a text, and the goal for the text is not to necessarily get them to say, yes, I'll take 2 of those, or it's not to sell them something other than you're going to sell them on your excitement, your enthusiasm. So ask yourself, everybody's busy who's listening to this. You guys find a minute to listen to Quantum Leap, which I greatly, and we all do greatly appreciate. So what would that text need to say to get you to respond? First of all, you want to end the text. If you haven't ever heard me train on this, you want to always end a text with a question. You're over 63% more likely to get a response if you end with a question. So a really quick example. Yesterday I was texting some customers about the micellar water, and I have those bundles, with the free eye pads or the face wiping pads. And so I just said something like, hey, it's Diane, your MK girl. I put something in there about the new micellar water with a picture. And then my closing thing was, would you give me your opinion if you could try it? That was all I wanted to say. Would you give me your opinion if you could try it? And then I sent that out. And I think I sent it to like 17 relatively new customers. And man, my phone was blowing up. I think within 20 minutes, I think I had 11 of the 17 responding to me. And then within an hour, even more responded. So something that's going to get their attention. So you want to get them to text you back, right? So you say something about I'm either super excited or I have a pink emergency or something that's going to be fun, right? So you text it to them and they text you back. Now what you're going to do is you're going to call them. Now, one of my consultants that I talked to yesterday said, but I want to practice calling because I don't want to just talk to somebody. And I said, well, then text them and say, I'm about to call and leave you an important message. Please don't answer your phone. And then you could send a bunch of smiley faces and they'll go, what? So maybe you just have not a script necessarily, but a guide to kind of make sure that your words go the direction you want. Because sometimes we do get tongue-tied or we get nervous, right? So it might sound something like this, like, hey, Suzanne, it's Diane, your MK girl. I am so excited. Now, remember, you have to be deliberate in your ask when you're calling or when you're texting. So instead of saying, hey, I'd love to get together, let me know if you have any free time this month. I'm working on a goal, and it'd be really fun to get together. Give me a call. It kind of sounds like I'm all over the place. That's not a direct invitation. But instead it might be something like, hey, Suzanne, it's Diane, your Mary Kay girl. I am so excited about doing 103 faces in the next 30 days. Or maybe you want to do, I don't know. I'm a little brain dead this morning. But anyway, think of something fun that you want to throw out there to them, okay? And you're gonna ask them, but you're going to be deliberate. So it's like, hey, I'm in a challenge for my mentor, for my director who's my mentor, to have 5 people watch my 5 favorite products, 5 favorite product video. If I text it to you right now, will you watch it? Something exciting, something to get them engaged. Now, the reason why it's super important to call, just like Corinne was sharing on Monday about asking, calling is key. You guys, I have had people call me back and say, I love your energy, or I love your enthusiasm, or I called because it sounded fun. So you could also do some research. My background prior to Mary Kay was marketing research. And so I did a thing for a watch party that we have going on tonight. And I sent it out to, I don't know, maybe 30 women I know. And I said, hey, do you feel like being spontaneous? Because I invited them on Tuesday. I invited them yesterday for an event that's tonight. And I just said, hey, do you feel like being spontaneous? I'm doing some research and I could use your help. Those are my exact words. And I said, I am planning on shooting a new video this weekend. I'm shooting a new video this weekend of the most popular products women are interested in, and I need 10 women to jump onto a watch party tonight. Tell me what products of the 10 that you see tonight, which are the top 5 are the most exciting or interested the most. I have a gift certificate for you as a thank you for your time. Can you jump on tonight? Always ending with a question. And I sent it out, I think, to, oh my gosh, a lot, like 28 maybe or 30 customers. And I started getting things back saying, oh, I can't do it tomorrow night. I already have an engagement. Oh, that sounds amazing. My kids are gone anyway. What time, or what's your Zoom number, or whatever. And without me sending that text, and some of them said, like, what do I need to do? And I didn't even ask if I could call. I just hit the call button. I just called. And one gal who I haven't known very long, her name was Joyce. I called and she answered the phone. She goes, hi. And I said, hey, Joyce, it's Diane with Mary Kay. I said, I just had to call you really quick. So the event is tonight. And I said, you know what? It's fun. It's fast-paced. And I said, you jumping on, and then when you're done telling me the 5 products that made the biggest impact on you or got you the most excited, that's what I want. Would you be willing to do that for me? And she goes, oh, my gosh, absolutely. And then we talked for a minute or two about other things, and she asked me some other questions about Mary Kay. She probably wouldn't have gotten that excited had I not picked up the phone and called. So I do understand that sometimes texting is easier. I do understand that sometimes, you don't know if you can talk to people, but that they'll answer the phone. Maybe they're at work. But if you guys just make the calls, Mary Kay says, when you call, every time you dial, it gets easier and easier and easier. In fact, there's a sales statistic that says if you just make 10 calls a day, whether anybody ever answers the phone or not, you could literally leave 10 messages a day. The outcome of your sales, I should actually look up that statistic, and I'll post it on our Quantum Leap Facebook page. But the sales statistic was 10 calls a day, 5 days a week is, of course, 50 calls. And so in a month, that is 200 calls. And I think they said that the average, it doesn't make any difference what industry you're in, whether it be a widget that's $1 or a car that's $50,000 or a whatever. But when you do that many calls, I believe the increase was over 200 and some odd percent, over 230 or some odd percent. I apologize. I know it's over 200% increase in the results because of the daily call. The call is key, you guys. The call is totally key. I just want to close with just a couple quick thoughts. Be anything but normal. Literally be anything but normal. I want you guys to go for big. Go for broke for June. Some of you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations. Maybe you won your diamond ring already. Maybe your goal was to be a red jacket and you just got your third team member last night. Maybe your goal was to be a diamond star and you already finished it. Maybe you're in the top 5 or the top 10 of your unit and you're going, well, I'm already done with my seminar goal. Well, you know what? Your goal, your attitude, your energy, it impacts the entire unit. So don't slow down. Don't rest on your laurels. Go for it. And I want to point out one other thing to you, that everything you do June 16th through June 30th counts toward next year's Star Consultant 4 quarters. So if you've already mastered 4 quarters this quarter, and you've already got it all done, and you've won your bracelet, and you've won your matching earrings, and you've got the consistency jewelry, and you're done, then you know what? On June 16th, pedal to the metal now. Start booking parties right now for June 14th, 15th, and place your order on the 16th. You guys, this is going to be absolutely epic what's going on this month with the discounts on the skincare. So remember, be anything but normal. Like, who wants to be normal, right? Who wants to just be average? Who wants to be, normal meaning average? Who wants to just be in the middle? Do the opposite of what you might think would be in the bell curve. Like, go for broke, go big. Raise your ambition. You hold the key. You hold the key. The thoughts, what you think, what you tell yourself. What is it you're telling yourself? Is this hard? What if they say no? What if they don't like me? What if they think I'm pushy? They're not going to think you're pushy. Enthusiasm, every single time will win over. They might not need anything today when you call. They may not be interested in booking, but when you're enthusiastic and you love what you do, they want to be around that. Sell hope. Let people know that they can have just 40 minutes with you and they'll forget about all the stressors in their life because they'll have 40 minutes of pampering. But raise your ambition. Raise your ambition and know that you can do absolutely anything you want. And remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And you can control your actions and your attitude. And do you know that anxiety and gratitude cannot exist in your brain at the same time? It's like a teeter-totter. When anxiety is high, gratitude is low. But when gratitude is high, anxiety can't connect the dots. So throw yourself into a rage of gratitude every time you're feeling anxious and start looking for all the blessings. Your greatness, you guys, my last comment, your greatness lies at the end of your comfort zone. If you really want to have a great June, and you guys, you know what? Earn as much money as you can because there are so many organizations out there that would love the money if you don't need it. Wouldn't it be great to go into Walmart and pay for somebody's back-to-school stuff that's on layaway? Wouldn't it be great to just go up to, a grocery store and offer to pay somebody's groceries or hand somebody in the grocery store line $100 gift cards to pay for their groceries? If you've got extra money that you're making in Mary Kay and you don't need it, give it away. Have the ability to make a difference. So just always remember, always remember that your greatness lies at the end of your comfort zone. So stretch, make it amazing, and remember, just like Corinne said on Monday, use your ask muscle, ASK, and I'm going to ask you to use your call muscle. Because guess what you can do? Pick up the phone, call. Let them hear your enthusiasm. You guys have an amazing day.